Are you seriously
playing Final Fantasy.
by yourself?
No, I'm with the science team.
Hello everyone, I'm Ffxiv, and you know what? It's time. It's finally time. I'm gonna do something that I've never done in Final Fantasy. Not when I first started playing Final Fantasy, not the last time that I started playing Final Fantasy when I boosted a character and skipped all the story like a moron. No, we're gonna do something completely new today, something I've never done. I am going to start looking for an FC. Now, I've been playing MMOs for a really, really long time, and I have a pretty good idea of what an FC is. For those of you who don't know, an FC is a free company. A free company in Final Fantasy is a lot like a guild in World of Warcraft or pretty much any other game. I don't know why they call it free companies in Final Fantasy. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I'm just not sure what that reason is. But we're going to find an FC, a free company. So, with that being said, let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to do is go to the Home Depot. You probably think I'm crazy, and you know what? Maybe you're right.
Losing his mind. And I'm reaping all the benefits.
But with my 16 years of hardcore raiding experience within World of Warcraft, I know that all guilds are hardcore raiding guilds, even if they're not, because a lot of people like to cosplay as hardcore raiders within video games. Now, because of this, we're going to the Home Depot to get the most important tool for raiding and hardcore raiding within a guild, in a free company, within a whatever in Final Fantasy. We're going to do this. We need a brand new, shiny piss bucket. All right, now that I have my piss bucket, you're probably thinking one thing. Wow, this guy's crazy. Why did he go out to the Home Depot and buy a piss bucket just so that he can join an FC in Final Fantasy? That's ridiculous, and I'll tell you. It's for a very specific reason. It's so that we can achieve maximum ass-to-seat ratio time over the course of a day.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
I need to spend at least 18 hours a day in my seat raiding every single day so that I can be a hardcore raider within Final Fantasy. That's the only way. At least that's what I'm going to tell everybody else. Don't tell them if I actually get up, right? We're going to keep that secret. But that's why I need the piss bucket, so that I can achieve that maximum ratio so that I can be a hardcore raider within Final Fantasy. All right, now that everybody understands what the piss bucket is and what it's used for and why we need it before we can even look for an FC, the next thing that we need is a poop sock, right? We have to go to Walmart and we have to get the best, biggest poop sock you can imagine because we're going to be sitting down for 18 hours a day. And if you're sitting down for 18 hours a day living on nothing but Hot Pockets, well, things get backed up. We're not going to go into detail, but when it goes, it goes.
Oh god, I'm gonna have diarrhea again.
So you need a big, long tube sock, right? You can't just pick up any old dirty ankle sock off the floor. You need a proper ass tube sock, right? So we're going to go get the best possible poop sock that we can get so that we can game for 18 hours a day and have some replacements for that when we do go once every 2 weeks. Yeah, I'll have the poop sock.
Dude, this is a Wendy's restaurant.
Well, messed up a little bit there, but in my defense, it has been a really long time since I've been to a Walmart. It's not a place I normally go to. I just assumed that there was a W there, so it was a Walmart. So I don't know. We ended up getting the poop sock, though. I didn't record it. I got the poop sock. All right, so with the poop sock in hand, piss bucket in hand, we're ready to go. It's time to find a free company. So the first thing I'm going to do is Okay, so this is when the video gets serious. The whole first part was just a joke. Obviously, I was just having fun, right? But I am seriously looking for an FC, or at least I was. And when I first started looking for an FC, I didn't know what I was doing. So I just did kind of what I would do in World of Warcraft when I was leveling. I just looked at chat and I was like, well, there's got to be somebody spamming chat at some point. And to my dismay, I didn't really see anybody spamming chat. Uh, for FC recruitments, which I guess is kind of a good thing because in World of Warcraft it gets really, really annoying. Trade chat's basically unusable for those of you who have not played World of Warcraft. Trade chat, at least last time I played, was just this gigantic spam. It was just a massive spam that was unreadable, mostly filled with guild recruitments and stuff like that, and other advertisements for one thing or another. Right? It was basically useless. So I guess it's really actually better in Final Fantasy not having that as a thing, but it did make it so that I didn't really know where to go to find a guild. And those guilds that are advertising in trade chat in World of Warcraft, they're known as cesspool guilds. They're not guilds that you stay in. They're guilds that you kind of join if you're new or you're just leveling a new character, returning player maybe. You don't have any friends left in the game, and you're just looking to meet some people and make some friends. That's usually a good way to get started, is to just join one of those guilds, but generally it's a bad idea to be attached to those guilds because they're just revolving doors of, people who don't really care about you or the guild or anything like that. So they're not a good long-term option. So essentially I was looking for something like that in Final Fantasy, but that doesn't really exist from what I can see. There's no real like cesspool free companies that are just spamming chat constantly or sending invites out. Because I did get one random invite as I was playing Final Fantasy over the course of like the 3 months that I've been playing. I haven't gotten any invites for people trying to get me to join their FC really. So having never looked for one in the past, not when I first played years ago, not when I played like last time, I didn't know what to do. So I literally did. I just went to Google and I was like, oh, how do I find an FC, in Final Fantasy, or where to find an FC in Final Fantasy? And there was a couple things that came up, and one of the things that came up was the lodestone. So I clicked on the lodestone and I started searching through it, looking through like found the filters, and I filtered out so that it was just my server on my data center. And I started looking through the guilds, and I started noticing a bunch of things that, it's like, oh, this guild's not going to match me. This one's not matching me. So I kind of like set up a bunch of red flags in my mind of like, if I see this from a guild or, sorry, a free company, then I'm just going to avoid that group. And basically that was anybody who was, talking about like their top priority was no drama, or their main focus is like work-life balance and parenting. And then there was a bunch of like different like virtue signaling and political messaging and stuff like that. And some of the recruitment, those groups tend to bring a lot of real life drama with them, and can tend to be a little toxic depending on who they are or whatever. So I just kind of try to avoid anything like with even a little bit of political messaging. It's like, nope, I'm going to avoid that. So I started looking through the ones that didn't set off any red flags, and in that process, I didn't really find any free companies on the server that I'm on that really fit where I'm at in the game right now. And I didn't know what to do at that point, so I went back to Google, and I found on Reddit there's a couple Discord servers. One is the Balance, and through the Balance, I went through that server, and there's a whole bunch of really useful information there. And I saw people recruiting for statics, and I was like, well, what the fuck is a static? I had no idea what a static is, right? And I found out through my research, through Google, none of this was provided like in-game information for a new player, which would be wonderful if it was like actually provided. It's like, hey, this is how the game works, but they don't really give you any of that. So there's two different things. There's a static, and then there's free companies. And I had no idea, right? Like a static is basically your raid team. Your free company is your guild. and they don't always intermingle, but they can. So like it was just weird to me coming from World of Warcraft, where it was like you join a guild, you raid with that guild, you progress with that guild, you do events with that guild, everything is with that guild. And in Final Fantasy, that's not the case. It's like the community is just bigger, and maybe that's part of the reason why Final Fantasy is way less of a toxic place, other than just the fact that the devs really go out of their way to cultivate a non-toxic atmosphere. But anyways, like what I'm trying to say is I had no idea what was going on with any of this, and it's like, well, I'm level 72 or whatever at the time, 70 something, and I'm not ready to raid. At least I don't think I am, right? Like I don't feel like I'm ready to jump into raiding. I don't think that I don't know how the level sync works. I don't know if everything gets scaled up to 90. I haven't put any effort into researching that. So I just is like, well, there's a bunch of statics recruiting, and they want like they want your parses and all kinds of other stuff, and it's like in-depth like recruitment stuff, and it's basically what I would look at in World of Warcraft when I was looking to join like a raiding guild or whatever, something like that. And it's like, well, I know I'm definitely not ready for that because I don't have any parses, A, and B, I don't have mods to record any parses, and I don't plan on getting them. So I had no idea where to go from there. Basically, I was like, well, there's nowhere I can look. It's just like to find somewhere that feels like it fits me. So what I ended up doing is just giving up, right? Because there was all this information from different free companies or different statics or whatever, and it's like I just don't fit any of these things because of the position that I'm at currently in the game. Once I reach level 90 with one of my jobs or a couple jobs, and I've got some gear and stuff like that, then maybe I can start looking for a static and a more serious free company and stuff like that. But yeah, I just flat out gave up. I was like, you know what, I'm done. I don't feel like looking through this anymore, because I spent like 6-7 hours just reading different statics, like information, or different free companies information, and then going through the balance Discord and all this other stuff. The information wasn't easily accessible, especially for a new player, and I can see somebody who doesn't know what they're looking for because they haven't played MMOs in the past would just be completely overwhelmed and just be like, no, not for me. They wouldn't even bother, right? They might not even know to look, or where to look, or how to find the things. So I just didn't know what to do. And like I said, I gave up, and I ended up, I was just chilling in Limsa Lominsa, and had somebody just walk up to me and say hi and start talking, which had not happened yet in the game. People walk up to me and give me stuff all the time on my server, Balmong. I don't know why. I think after joining this free company that I had found, right? Because I did find this free company. Somebody walked up to me, started talking to me, and it's like, hey, you can join our free company. We got the leveling stuff and all this other. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then they were nice people, so I joined, and everybody's awesome. They're really good people. But that aside, the shit, what was I going to say? That aside, I lost track of my thought. Wow, this sucks. Okay. Anyways, I ended up joining the free company, and I remember now. I was talking to them, and they said I was basically a unicorn on the server because they had not seen an actual sprout on the server in forever, because the server's congested and it's been that way for a long time. So like I said in some of my previous videos, you can't make new characters on that server. So there's no new players that aren't like traveling from other data centers or other servers on the same data center. There's no actual new players on the server. So they said I was like a unicorn, and I think that has a lot to do with like people just walking up and giving me stuff. Because I don't know, like I've just been sitting in Ul'dah, and I have people walk up and then like give me a minion, or they give me skill, or they give me this, whatever. I've just gotten so much free stuff. It's actually kind of funny. If I were to just sit in Ul'dah, I'd probably make like, I don't know, 100k gil a day just sitting there accepting trades. Because they don't give me a lot of gil, they give me like 10k at a time or something like that. But it's funny. It's like, hey, there's a sprout. Give him something because he's not here to RP, right? Or I should say, he's not here just to ERP. Like that's an actual sprout, so they just give me stuff. I don't know if it's like something that happens on all servers or whatnot, but yeah. Anyways, I talked to that person. I joined their free company, and that's how it happened. Like after I had basically just given up, and it was funny because it was like literally the day after I had decided like this search for a free company is just not worth it. Because it was just it was actually kind of painful to try and sort through all of that stuff. I had a headache, like actually just sitting there like looking at it and like reading, and it's like, oh, this is what statics are, and then I find a YouTube video and I watch the YouTube video. They tell you how to find a free company, and it's like they send you to the lodestone, and it's like I just was there. There's nothing there. Like there's some free companies there, but none of them align with like where I'm at. Like I'm not ready to do anything like major in the game. I just wanted a place to chill out and meet some people and have, make some friends. And that's the place that I ended up finding by accident. And it's kind of funny because I've never had within the game somebody just come up and start talking to me. People give me stuff, but they don't come up and actually talk to me. I'll be the only interaction within game that I have with people is when I go into a duty, and everybody says hey, and that one person says meowdy, right? Like that's the only time I ever like actually type in chat is that, and then GG at the end. I think that's it. This is the only time I ever actually get to talk to anybody within game. So it was kind of nice to have this other person come up and talk to me. And I have met some people from the YouTube channel. I don't want to forget those people either. There's one or two people that I've met that have actually like come and played with me and stuff like that from other servers and stuff like that. But yeah, I've played with some people from YouTube that I met, through chat and stuff. Those people are incredibly nice. So shout out to them. And thank you guys for hanging out, obviously. But yeah, the FC search is a pain in the ass. And I really, really hope that Square at some point does something to make it a little bit easier, because it's just really rough at this point. And having to sift through like Discord and the lodestone and all this other stuff. I mean, it makes it easier, but it's just not, I don't know. It's also part of the fact that, I just don't really have anything like major that I'm really looking at doing inside of Final Fantasy as of yet, because I got to finish the MSQ and I got to get to 90. I know you can do raids and stuff like that before then, I think, but yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling at this point. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.